share with me and get to know me.
Working within it so that you can trust
You gotta
them.
be able to produce things. And I'll tell you why that production is so important. But before we go there, how do you use those two pieces of equipment? And
Success is not necessarily financial, but success is when you feel fulfilled in what you're doing. And then
to other women, they need to know their value, their worth.
But I believe everything that you put your mind to and you achieve, it's success.
Give us all the stuff.
Okay, I'll answer all 16 of those questions right now. I started in the music business at Sony while I was still...
Welcome to the show. My name is Renee Hastings, and I'm your host of Renee Speaks. Y'all, I am so excited to share so many announcements with you today. As you know, we're in the month of October, and it is my birthday month. It's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month, as promoted by the American Cancer Society. So please, if you are a woman, early detection is critical. So please stay mindful that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month and go get screened. Also, because it is my birthday month, I want to give back to you, our incredible audience. And we've got some games and fun activities planned. So throughout today's broadcast, you'll see a special code pop up. Be sure to DM me with that code and you'll be entered to win a prize. So thank you so much for your support for that. And then the final announcement that I have is about an exciting event that I got to participate in as a sponsor. And it is called the Inspire You Awards Ceremony. And the proceeds from this event go to support teen moms who are looking for scholarships for childcare or tuition assistance. So you all know what a special place teen moms have in my heart. And I'm so proud and pleased that Executive Help Now gets to sponsor this event to support these incredible young women who are trying to get college degrees or start their entrepreneurial careers or their entrepreneurial journeys. So join with me in supporting this organization. It's a truly, truly worthy cause. So as we get ready to start today's show, I cannot wait to tell you about our most incredible guest. Today's guest is Sharon Ringier. Sharon is a small business alignment strategist, and she has a passion for helping women entrepreneurs achieve their goals. With over 20 years of experience, she's an expert in guiding business owners toward six-figure success by creating alignment in their businesses and helping them gain clarity on their next steps. As a speaker, community builder, and strategist, Sharon is dedicated to empowering women to find their own paths to success. Y'all, join me in welcoming Sharon.
Hello. Wow, what an introduction. I'm like, oh my goodness, thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
It is so great to have you on the show, Sharon. What you are doing in the lives of these women is truly incredible, life-changing, so impactful. So I cannot wait to hear how you got started on this journey, why this mission that you have is so important to you, and just start taking it from there.
First, happy birthday to you. It's your birthday month, girl. Say, hey, another turn around that globe is a beautiful day.
Thank you.
And I really love your mission. And part of why I got started was because of, as entrepreneurs, it's like we especially female entrepreneurs, we don't have the opportunities. Um, I came from corporate America, and I got to see, I was a beast at my job, executive admin. I always made the VPs and the presidents, they shine.
Mhm.
But yet I did the work, right? So it's like it's one of those of where it's like, how do we get out of that space of living someone else's dream
Yeah.
and start living our own? So I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit, and I started doing event planning. I wanted to stay at home with my kids, didn't realize that that hustle would not allow me to be home for weekend games though, because weekend weddings.
Mhm.
But it's still, the flexibility that I learned and garnered on as far as seeing how women in that entrepreneurial space, they were able to start being, moms a lot more so. So, but it still wasn't enough, and that there weren't enough resources for me. I didn't see where, I always say that men do business in the boardroom or on the golf
Mhm.
course.
Mhm.
And as female entrepreneurs, we didn't have the opportunity. And I had one woman actually challenge me with that. And she's like, "Well, I play golf." And I'm like, "Yeah, but do you negotiate on the golf course?" And she kind of looked at me a little funny. And I'm like, "So here's the thing. It's like, don't be defensive about it. If there is room for correction, take it, because
Right.
that's how we grow." And it's like, challenges aren't failure. I mean, although, and here's the thing, if you want success, you're going to have to fail. And so many
Mm.
times people think that, oh my God, well, I failed at this. Well, you need to, because that's how you're going to learn how to move forward. So I took that journey, and I did the wedding planning, but it wasn't as fulfilling as I thought it was going to be at times. I mean, I love to be creative, but my
Mhm.
issue came in where, oh, the color pink is wrong. And it's just like, okay, but what is your day about? So
Mhm.
I saw the shift in my attitude, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I want to work with clients that understand the value and the sanctity of getting married, not
Mhm.
just, keeping up with the Joneses. So I saw that, the type of clients I got, they were more, into intimate events. And so I looked at the evolution of all of that. And when I decided to throw a conference, because a friend of mine had challenged me, thank you, Shar,
Mhm.
had challenged me I always wanted to do a women's empowerment conference. And she was
Mhm.
like, okay, well, then what's stopping you? And she had an event herself. And the question was like glaring in my face, like, well, what's stopping you? And I'm like, I don't know.
Mhm.
So that January 2017, I'm like, well, I guess I'll figure this out. And I started doing masterminds to put on this conference. And by the time the conference rolled around, and believe you me, it was a thorn in my side dealing with some of the things, because you don't know what you don't know until you do. But it was a beautiful thing, because it showed me that that's where I was supposed to be.
Mhm.
And when I said, God, if you want me to do this women's empowerment thing, you're going to have to take weddings off my heart. Be careful what you ask for. Because my
Mhm.
baby got married, and I didn't care that I didn't plan it. I didn't want to. I just showed
Mhm.
up and he told me, he's like, Mom, I just want you to be my mom. And I was hurt when he first said it years prior, saying, if I ever get married, Mom, I don't want you to plan it. But I am a wedding planner. I could have
Mhm.
cared less. I showed up as the diva mom I was supposed to be to my son.
There you go.
Well, I
I
even had
love
a clothes change. My outfit changed too. Like from the yes, from the wedding to the reception. Everyone's
Mhm.
like, "Whoa, whoa!" And I'm like, "Yep." I turned into total diva, and I let it go. So it's like when you're in alignment, it's like, "Oh my God, it felt so good." So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Well, that is awesome. That is so good. And I love how you started out talking about how either you can help somebody else make their dreams come true,
Mhm.
or you can actually do a little self-reflection, some introspection, and ask
Exactly.
yourself, what do you want to do? What do I want to do? Who am I to
Mhm.
my core?
Mhm.
And what is my purpose? Is my purpose to make this other person's dream a reality? Or is there something more for me? Is there another level for me?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so I really appreciate that you help women identify that
Mhm.
and help them nurture that. And I think that it cannot be said enough the value of a cheerleader. So your Shar
Yes.
cheerleading you on, saying,
Yeah.
why aren't you doing this? You can do this.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and then she set the example for you of how
Mhm.
it's supposed to be done. If I understand correctly, she did the conference and you were able to see how it was done so that you can
Yeah.
see for yourself. If somebody else can do it, surely I can do it too.
Mhm.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's so great to have that community
Mhm.
of supporters, just a village to kind of nurture you,
Right.
be your
Right.
iron that sharpens iron, and help just make you better and help you through those mistakes that you might make or misunderstandings or whatever it is that causes you to build character. It's
Yes.
great to have those kind of women in your life
Right.
that want you to be successful and are along there with you on the journey of you
Right.
getting to be just that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part of that too is it's because we have the male corporate mentality, because that's all we're really taught as women, even in business, we get labeled aggressive or backstabby sometimes. I mean, perfect example. I am really excited about our vice president. However, she shows up like a guy to me.
Mm.
And it's like, okay, how do we show up in our own true authentic selves? So
Mhm.
it's like that's the piece that it's like I feel like is missing in entrepreneurship for women. It's like to be, and I know the word is it's thrown around so much, the authentic word, but
Mhm.
there is something to be said about being authentic to your and true to yourself
Right.
and being able to show up that way. Now, if that is really truly how she is, that's great. But
Mhm.
I know she's in the boys club and she has to be and she has to play like the boys club. And that's the hard part with entrepreneurship. So if if I could just change the trajectory of one woman at a time to realize that she can walk in her own like greatness without having to walk like a man and
Mhm.
still do the thing, that would be amazing because it's like we all have our own true identity without it having to be, oh well, well, men have done it this way, so we have to do it that way. That's not really how it should be, and
Right.
it's unfortunate that we're labeled, but that's the way it is.
Yeah. And it could just be she needs a better stylist. I'm just saying.
That piece too. That piece
Um,
too.
but I digress.
It's okay. But I like the correction. Thank you. Thank you. I like that one.
So, Sharon, getting to the meat of our topic today about aligning our way to business success, what
Mhm.
misalignments or challenges do small businesses face, and how do you help them?
So the biggest thing is understanding that there is an ecology around goal setting, and it's knowing why you're doing what you're doing. If you can
Mhm.
just wrap your head around that piece, because a lot of times, so I teach vision boards as well, and it's so amazing to see when women are like, they'll want to put on the board, oh well, I also want to get like, and I'll just use the example, I want to get a red car, convertible for my husband. I'm going to put that on the board. That's not your vision, that's his. And
Mm.
it's like, so then when things get tough because we associate our happiness to a thing, well, if he now pisses you off, that's going to go away, right?
Mhm.
So it's like,
Come off the board. No.
yes, it's off the board. So it's like, being in alignment with what you want, kind of like what I was saying with, for me, it's like I realized weddings was no longer something I wanted to do. And it's like, so I literally had to, step back into my space and go inside, and it's like, God, what am I supposed to do? What's really what lights me up? And then go deeper and ask why like 5 to 7 times until you get to the core of what is it that really that piece that you want to do. I had seated someone once and they go, well, I want to make more money. Well, we all do. Okay,
Mhm.
here's $5. Here's $5. Now you just make more money. Okay, so defining in the goal is a different story. But I'm like, why do you want to make more money? Well, so that I
Right.
can, travel more. Okay, but what's important about traveling more that you want to do this? And it came down to they wanted to do more with their mom because their mom was ailing, and they wanted
Mhm.
to be able to take her on vacations before, basically, it happens to all of us, but before she left this earth.
Right.
And
Right.
I saw the shift in the face when it came
Mm.
down to why they truly wanted to do it. And it's like that piece right there, that's where your alignment will now come into place, because now you know why you're doing it. Now you can think about, hey, okay, yeah, I got a bad client right now, but the reason I'm working with that client, or the reason why I'm dealing with this situation, is because I know the end goal and why I'm doing it.
Right.
So
Right.
it's understanding why you're doing that goal. And that's the
Mhm.
piece that's what gives you your mental sustainability. You know that nothing phases you when you're doing the right thing, and you're
Right.
happy with it regardless, because you find joy, not happiness, because happiness is conditional, but that joy.
Right. Right. And there's something about joy, and
Mhm.
when you can have perpetual joy in
Yes,
spite of the circumstances,
exactly.
um, that is almost an unheard of supernatural thing
Yes, it is.
that that unless you've got, a deep relationship with the Lord, you have no idea what that even looks like, or
Hmm.
can't even conceive that that's even possible. But trust and believe it is.
Right. Well, perfect example is, look at Mother Teresa.
Hmm.
Okay. I mean, and she had pure joy in what she did,
Yes.
and didn't make anything for it. But yet or people that are missionaries.
Hmm.
There is joy there when they're doing this, because it's not about a financial gain. It's about a spiritual gain. It's about that deep down inside, I just feel good when I'm here kind of gain.
Right. And it's the impact that you're making,
Yes,
and
exactly.
the lives that you're changing just by
Hmm.
sharing good news, but I mean,
Yes.
not just by, by sharing good news. Yes, it is. It's an inner joy that is
Yeah.
so gratifying and so fulfilling. There's nothing else like it.
Hmm.
So it's really great to get to that place
Yes.
when in your current work, or in your current, or in spite of your current circumstances or
Yes.
situations, to be able to overlook some things, or,
Yeah.
you know, have faith that, that maybe there'll be a different client or a better client, that you don't have to deal with nonsense, and still have, just as much money or even more money, you know.
Right. Right.
But just know that every single phase serves a purpose, whether
Yes.
that's for your edification, to challenge you, to stretch you, to help you reach a new level of
Hmm.
understanding, a new way of navigating. Uh,
Yep.
because if you don't go through some stuff, then you don't learn the fact that you need new tools to handle bigger
Exactly.
stuff, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And I always say, even when I meet people, it's like I look at it as, you know what, sometimes you meet people for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And if you're in my life for that lifetime, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, but I'm okay if I have to let you go, because I met you for that reason then, or that season.
Exactly. Exactly. And the thing is, one of the things that I discovered since 2017,
Hmm.
that was a pivotal year in my life, and I discovered the importance of making an impression and leaving an impact, um, making an impact wherever I go, whether it's in the office break room, or in the parking lot, or in the cubicle, or in the executive office, in the
Yes.
boardroom, at the grocery store. It didn't matter. There were people there who needed what I
Hmm.
had and that only I could give. And
Right.
so when I started to shift my thinking in that way, I looked for opportunities to say an encouraging word or to be an
Right?
encouragement or to be a light wherever I went. Because I knew that no matter what happened next after our interaction together, that's going to last.
Mm-hmm.
That impression or that our time together, that's what's going to last long after I'm gone. And so
Exactly.
it became an important foundation and a pillar to the company that I ended up creating.
Right. And you become the staple. It's like your staple, you know? I love it. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so when you're guiding, or how do you guide entrepreneurs in aligning their strategies to make sure that they're doing what aligns with them and their purpose?
So one of the programs that I offer is like a VIP intensive, right? And what I do, even though we talk about what they're trying to do, but the first hour that we spend together, I give them this whole, and it's so funny when they get it because they're like, oh my God, I didn't think of any of this. It is really all about their mindset. So all the questions I'm first asking, and that's our first hour. We spend an hour on that because it's 4 hours. The first hour is spent on that because it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I can give you all the tools, but if you're not mentally ready for it, there's blockage. It doesn't matter. And then that's a waste of your money and my time, right? And I don't feel good about taking the money at this point because you're not going to do it anyway. So it's like I would rather just have another client. So we work on the mindset first, and I ask them the questions that's like, okay, so if they're having some sort of block, it's okay, but where is that block coming from? Why do you feel this way? And I really get them to think about their feelings around something. And so I have one young man that and I mean, this kid is in touch with like Prince EA. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he does like a lot of motivational talks and things. And he's in touch with this kid. And I'm like, but you're worried about starting your podcast no, that's he's on YouTube, but he's worried about going further with it, like just going full time. That's what it was. He wants to go full time with his coaching. And I'm like, what are you worried about? Because you've done this, you were growing, you matched your salary during COVID. So what's scaring you? And he goes, he's got a new kid and newly married. And I'm like, well, you had them then too. He goes, am I overthinking this? And I'm like, yeah, you are. But we need to figure out why. And his wife was sitting in the background. She's like, please help him. Because she's supportive. So he's got the support system. He's capable of growing the business. He already has a following, but yet to just that trigger to let go of that job and just move forward, that was so hard for him. And when we were done talking, he was just like, I didn't, first of all, know that I could even do all the things you said, because I was trying to figure out how would I even come up with creating content and quicker. And like, there were so many things that once we got past that fear, and I always tell people, it's like fear is, all the acronyms, false evidence appearing real, face everything and rise. It's like, I can give you all this stuff, but it's like, you've got to feel it in your core, in your heart, and understand that you're the controller of it. Why is it that Richard Branson with Virgin Mobile and everything, Virgin everything, he can go and have over 40 semi companies and he doesn't work a day in his life for anyone else, but you're afraid to take the leap. So we look at mindset first, because once you get the mindset work going and figure out what that looks like, then you can move the business forward. And believe you me, I'm talking from a space of did it myself first. So, and it wasn't, then there's a saying, as a man thinketh, so is he, right? It's like what you think about, you speak about, and what you speak about, you become. Be careful what you're letting out of the pie hole. It's like God gave us 2 ears and one mouth. So it's like we need to learn to listen. And if we listen to the signs, feel the signs, and understand them, we have everything we need. It's just a matter of putting yourself in the right rooms and doing the right things. But it's all, why is it that Michael Jordan can come from being told he would never play basketball to being one of the icons of the world? It's like, how do we help people with that mindset work first?
Right. Absolutely. And further to that, there's so many self-limiting thoughts and ideas that we've
Yeah.
heard that we've
Mm-hmm.
just automatically made a part of our own self and
Right.
believe.
Right.
And
And yep.
so if someone ever said to us that we were never going to be anything, that may become a thread that
Right.
weaves its way through our whole being. And now attached
Exactly.
to every single thing we do is something in the back of our head that says,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to be anything. You'll never be anything. So you have to fight that. You
Right.
got to,
Right.
rebuke that and not believe the lies and see yourself as worthy of these,
Exactly.
a much better life than what you've been told you could have.
Well, I always tell people, like, someone else's opinion of you is none of your business, because unfortunately, and it's usually the people that are closest to us and that loves us the most, they don't see themselves doing it, so they don't understand how you can. So if you can grasp that concept and
Fact.
realize that it's not even that they don't want you to succeed, they'd probably be ecstatic if you made it. But because they can't absorb it, they don't think you can. So it's not personal. So don't take it personal, but don't let someone else's limiting beliefs become your reality, because
Oh, that's so good.
you know what I'm saying? You just have to realize that that's their journey, and you
Mhm.
need to let your journey live yours. And that's why I see a lot of shift is when people are like, yeah, I think that we need to just, you know, think of a different way of looking at it, kind of thing. So,
Yes. Absolutely. I love that. So mindset is the first thing that you go through
mhm,
with them as
mhm.
you're navigating through aligning uh, strategies and values and that sort of thing. Is there anything else that you do to help guide entrepreneurs in this alignment to making sure that they're operating in purpose?
Again, I go back to that why, and it's so cliche, but it's so real, and it's because it's really hard to answer the why a lot of the times, especially going
Mhm.
that deep. Because once you understand that piece, that's when you can start to have breakthrough. So alignment
Mhm.
comes from breakthrough and understanding where, why you even want these things. Kind of like, I mean, the reason why I wanted to do, my event planning, for instance, was so that I could be with my kids. So come hell or high waters, I was doing it because I wanted to be able to have more time with the field trips. And, like I knew what I wanted to do, the birthdays. And I was that mom that showed up with, okay, the moms don't want to play nice in the sandbox with the projects. I can show up on a different day, and I ran the whole project, and I got to spend the whole day at the school. But I had the luxury of being able to do that because I worked for myself. So I
Mm.
wanted to be able to, hey, oh, you want to take a, group of friends over to, everything was about trying to figure out how to do things with my kids. So
Right.
but that was my why. So it's like understanding, what your why is, and knowing that that's the piece that's going to help get you through the rest of it. And then past that, it's just looking at, I always say that when we want to start businesses, especially, in the beginning stages, the first maybe 2 to 5 years, think of it this way. You want to remodel your bathroom, right?
Mhm.
And you put the grout down for the floor, and then you lay the cute little tiles down, and you put the little pluses in between. And then you're done, because now you can just start walking on it and start using it and start going and doing and doing and doing. Well, the more you do, guess what? Those things are going to start to chip and come up because you didn't finish the foundation.
That's right.
So it's
That's right.
like
Oh,
understanding. So I always say I'm like that foundation where it's like, let's sit and look at where you have missing pieces. You
yes.
don't necessarily have to have all the PR because you're not ready. And a lot of
Mhm.
them think, oh, well, I need PR. And I mean, I remember when I got started in wedding planning, and we watch what everyone else is doing. So it's like, oh, well, I need to see if I can get a publicist. For what? I'm not ready.
Mhm.
So it's like
Right.
get the foundation, it's like, so we work on getting the foundation set, and where you need, all the pieces where you're missing before you can start looking at the stuff up here.
Right, exactly. Because yeah, you need that last layer of grout
Right.
if your tiles are gonna set right.
Right. So it's just,
You might
it's
need
just
some leveling
understanding.
sand under there. Yeah.
Exactly. So
I'm
yeah.
I totally get it.
So yeah. So it's just making sure you have you have a solid foundation, and just the infrastructure. And believe you me, it's like School of Hard Knocks. That's why I can now share it, because it's the School of Hard Knocks. I found out really fast what that looked like if you don't have, the pieces together. And when I tell you, every time I learn something new, okay, especially in the wedding business, okay, I learned that's going in the contract now. Learn that, oh, yep,
Right.
that's going in the contract. And everyone teased me like, God, your contract is 4 pages long. I go, yeah, but I never get sued. Because
Right.
School of Hard Knocks, I learned, and I'd have someone be like, "Oh, I want my money back because X, Y, Z." No, sweetheart. So the problem was you called me to say you wanted to go look at something. I was not available, and because I'm not available on your calendar, because I have other clients, you now want to, act funny. No, it's in my contract that if you want to cancel your contract, you're more than welcome. But there's a fee that you still have to pay, and I don't owe you anything.
Right.
But
Right.
it's putting everything in place. So
Right.
making sure that foundation, I can't infrastructure and foundation, I can't express. I just can't share it enough.
Right. And we were just talking earlier with another guest who was talking about how many businesses don't have documents. They have no contracts. They've got it's like they do business on a handshake. It's like, are you kidding me? And I can relate very well to what you're talking about. It's like you live and you learn. Okay, this will
Yep.
not happen to me again. It's going in the contract.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. Totally get it. Cannot
Oh yeah.
agree with you more on the
Yep.
importance of having documents, getting your foundation
Mhm.
ready, getting, managing expectations on
Yes.
paper.
Yes. Yes.
You
And
know,
setting boundaries. Yeah. I mean, I had what was called the jerk clause on my contract, and everyone's like, "What is a jerk clause? If you treat me badly, I'm done, and I can walk away."
wow.
And they
I
were like,
like
"Oh my God." And I was
that.
like, "Yeah."
Right?
It's like,
So be nice.
yeah, there's no reason to be rude. We can agree to disagree, and you are my client, but yeah, that doesn't give you the right to treat me any kind of way.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I love it.
And
And good for
everybody
you.
behaved. Everybody behaved because of that. They were
I
on
love it.
time. They were on time because of the contract. Yeah, I'm like, hey, if you're late, yeah, I'm going to charge you an hourly fee.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
Mhm.
for you. Good. I mean, because your time is valuable and you need to know and understand and recognize your value and your
Yes,
worth and what
right.
you bring to this project.
And
Because
that's
they
part of
can't do this
alignment.
without you. If they could have, then they would have done it themselves.
Right. And that's part of alignment is those pieces right there. It's like people think that alignment has to be some, like you said earlier, esoteric thing. And it's like, no, alignment is making sure everything is in place.
Right. Exactly. And that you've got all your, the tools that you need to
Mhm.
dot the I's and cross the T's,
Yes. Yes.
because they're so important. It's all a part of that foundation. And once you have a strong foundation, if
Right.
you've got a deep foundation, you can build a tall building. And so the sky is the limit. So why
Right.
not set yourself up for success from the beginning, the right way?
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Absolutely. I love it. Love it. And so along this journey and learning all these things, how important was it for you to have a community of people around you
Oh,
to support you in this?
that has been, oh my God, that has been such a blessing because we get the label. I told you, we get the label of, we're backstabby. No, women just don't understand. They don't understand that, yes, we protect, or people, I won't say women, but people think that we're trying to protect. And it's like, okay, so how do we work around that? And I wanted to bring women together to show them that we can all cohesively work together. And I see other groups do it too, but then you see the cattiness behind it. And it's like, okay, how do I create an environment then that I'm looking for? Because that's why I created the masterminds. Is I needed, I wanted to have masterminds for myself because that's technically your own advisory board, but
Mhm.
we all can share our ideas. But I wanted to give them a safe space, so I have everyone sign an NDA, and everyone can feel comfortable with sharing and just sharing freely. And it's it's so rewarding to see their faces light up when they get, just instrumental advice from someone they don't even know. and someone who made them think a different way. And I've gotten so many, so many times they're like, oh my God, I didn't know that women really did this. And it's like, yeah, they do. It's just the stage has to be set for it. So the community for me, to have a community of women, it's like I have such a strong support system. Like my mom passed away when I was 35, but my godmom, who was her best friend, like I just planned a retreat back in April. Guess who was on that flight? Bought her ticket, for the retreat, and she was there with bells on. And it's like, just to have that support system, like I can call right now. My members, half the time, one of my members I call, she's a lifetime. I called her yesterday. We talked for 2 hours while I was driving because we were talking about her. And by the way, Iris Connor, look her up. Best interior designer I can introduce you to. This girl is a beast at what she does. But it's like we were talking about her business, and because to me that's still fun. And we were talking about what she's doing to grow it and the opportunities that she's gotten, and she's moved, and just, it's just more than just you're my member and I'm the business. It's like, no, we actually talk to one another. When she's got a dark day, I'm encouraging her. When I have a rough, dark day, she's encouraging me. Shar, when I mentioned Shar and I were both wedding planners. And people couldn't believe how close we were. And we helped each other with each other's weddings, as opposed to, oh, she's my competition. No, I'm my own competition,
Right.
So it's like, there was no need. And I mean, she would tell me, oh, no, your pricing is too low. You need to raise your pricing. Or I tell her, oh, no, this client is XYZ. You need to do blah, blah, blah. It's like, I feel like I've taught women how to work with one another, as opposed to dealing with the crazy that we are supposed to be, because we're not. We're really not.
No,
and women are excited when they get to that.
Yeah, for sure. And when you find a good group that is all about your success and all about being a joint partner on the journey, not just someone to provide all the correction, but someone to receive the correction as well. And because you are iron sharpening iron, you know what I mean? And so that's what it's supposed to be. And when you have a heart to receive and a spirit of servitude, it's not, you don't look down on the counsel, because you recognize it as wise counsel from someone that you trust. And if they didn't care about you, they wouldn't say nothing.
They wouldn't
but it's
say
because
anything.
they care about you that they do.
Right.
And that's the way it is.
Yeah. So it's been really great having the community that I have. Like the other day I was staying at her house and Char's house, and we were talking about, I told you about the magazine, and she's like, do you mind if I share? And it's like, she asks permission on top of it. And that's the thing, is it's like, it's easy to assume that you want to just, fix someone's problem, but ask the permission to, hey, do you mind if I share a few little word pearls of wisdom? And she proceeded to tell me, she's like, you know what? Don't think small with just the billboard. How can you get on the Today Show? How can you get on this show? And I'm just like, oh, honey. And it's like, because we can only think of so much. We're all solopreneurs. But when you have that tribe, they're going to think about stuff that you don't think about. And they're willing to share when you have that relationship, because she didn't have to. But she's like, oh, no, honey, you're thinking small. She's like, what you have? This piece right here? She goes, yeah, that needs to be on the Today Show. How can we get you on that? And I'm just like, oh, okay. And I'm like, okay, now you're stretching me a little bit. It's like, oh my God.
I love it. And those are the kind of women we need to have in our lives. Women women who are not limited by what they have seen, but have vision, vision for what could be, and see you on a whole nother level, and want to help propel you up there. And as you're, being launched up there, you may be kicking and screaming along the way. They're there with you, though, helping you and reassure you and comfort you. So yes, community is so important, and surrounding yourself with like-minded people is so critical to making sure that you are aligned for business success, for sure.
Yes,
I agree. So could you share a success story or a case study where aligning a business led to significant growth or transformation of a woman
Sure. And I love this girl, and she wouldn't mind me sharing it. Geraldine B. Thomas. She has her group is called Smart Women Partner and Grow Rich, and she is
entrepreneur.
she's yeah she's so she's LinkedIn crazy. Like she loves LinkedIn so much, and I'm like, and she thinks it's fun, by the way, and I don't. It's not fun. But there were things that she was doing that was based on because it's like she's a giver. And so, and I'm like, honey, you need to make money. So it's like we look at things that, and it's on a regular basis that we're looking at things that she's working on. I'm like, okay, well, how can you turn this into a revenue stream? This you cannot continue to go, oh, this is fun. We need to turn this into a revenue stream because she is just, her ideas are mind blowing, the things that she has people doing. And so now I'm looking at, she's doing, her first co-marketing cohort, and she's rolled it out because I'm part of it. And it's just like, we're learning about co-marketing, and it's the beta right now. So you're on the lookout for the next one. But it's just,
So you're saying co-marketing cohort?
Yes, she has a co-marketing cohort that she's running. I think we're halfway done, but she finally monetized it. So it's like helping her to understand things that need to be monetized, or things that, she trying to understand funnels. And so it's like the bits and pieces of like what she's worked on, we're taking it. And again, that foundation and infrastructure is kind of laying it out like we were talking about, because she has a yearbook coming out, but she does like yearbooks for like when we're in school, but for entrepreneurs on LinkedIn. And she was she was doing ads quarterly, and I'm like, well, then give them a price for a year. And she's like, oh my God, I didn't think about that. So it's like, it's nuggets like that it's like, how do we, it doesn't have to be so grand. Again, the word that you used was esoteric. It doesn't have to be all of that. It needs to be so simple. Like, what's the term, KISS? Keep it simple, silly, It's like, keep it simple, but figure out how to monetize it. And it's like, and if we can stay focused on that, and it's like for everything that we're doing, it's like, how do we move that forward? Again, and so those are the pieces that I do with a lot of the, when you say case studies, it's like, that's the general, like, kind of theme is, what are you working on that we can take it and help you streamline it and make it more simple, so that you can make money from it.
Right, exactly. Because making money is what we do as entrepreneurs. Okay, so I got to keep the first thing the first thing. Keep the main thing the main thing.
Right.
We serve others, and then the money comes. I guess that's a better way to put it. We serve others, and then the money comes.
Right. So, and it's like, it's okay to like it or love it or have fun with it, but it's like, if it's not making you any money, don't do it.
Yeah, it's just a hobby then. Maybe you should just go on a board or something. And like, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. And I think that's great that you encourage women in their interests and try to, help them figure out how it can be monetized, and, just to help them keep things in priority, help them see that where this decision to do this particular thing lines up with the bigger picture.
Exactly
Where she wants to be.
Right. And the thing is, it's like, not everything fits in that particular puzzle. Like, everyone makes fun of me because it's, and yes, coaches have coaches. I have a coach too. And they're always like, you have so many projects. Like, oh, but here's the thing. Everything feeds into what I'm doing.
That's right.
Exposure, visibility, goal setting, clarity, everything falls into that. So, because goal setting is that's my zone. So it's like everything falls into that, and part of my goals, the magazine, visibility, exposure, I'm possible. How do you get your strategize your goals? Again, and then the VIP incentives, we're talking about your goals. Everything is goal oriented.
I love it. Well, and it's singular in purpose and mission and value. It all aligns. and then helps you decide, when a decision has to be made,
Right.
you can stack it up next to these things that already
Right.
align. And does this fit? Does this go here? Nope, it's not a part of the plan. Nope, it goes on a board. Yeah,
Right.
on board.
Well, that's like even with, like I went to a conference for podcasting, and she invited me to bring the magazine. So I went to her conference as well. And, we talked about that. It's like, okay, even when you're looking at podcasts, don't go on a podcast just for the sake of going on the podcast. You have to understand the messaging of that. And I'll believe you me, 2 years ago, I didn't know that. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be on a podcast. I need to get on a podcast. So I was on one, and the guy was asking me questions about basically like my personal life. And I'm thinking, man, do I really want this out there? Because it's not part of my messaging. And
Right.
so I started researching, and what are you supposed to do with podcasts? And that's when I got that. And I'm like, okay, no more of that, because granted, I have a story to be told, and it might be told at a different time, but for my business, it does not align with my business. So now everything that if it does not fall into the bucket of I'm possible and small business alignment and goal setting and magazine, and nope, can't do it. Can't do it.
Right. That's smart. That's smart. And it, as you're going through even invitations that come, as you get bigger and more people want you to be a part of their thing, as you're reading through their about me, does their
Right.
about me sound a lot like your about me?
Exactly.
What I mean? If it doesn't, it's like, no, thanks for the invite, but I think I'll pass.
That piece right there. Thank you. Thank you. You said it more eloquently. Thank you. That's what I was getting at. You got it.
I think we got it. Well, that's awesome. So, Sharon, this has been an amazing conversation. Truly, truly, truly loved your nuggets of wisdom. How can we continue this conversation, or how can people stay in touch with you after today's show?
So I'm excited to announce that I will be launching a new goal setting workbook. And because I changed the name of it, I forgot what it was again, because I keep changing it, but I finally found it and I'm like, oh, wait. So, but it's setsmartgoals.com is the website where you can go, and it comes out November 1st. So, and again, I create things that I'm looking for. Something my grandmother taught me before she left this green earth was never give someone something that you don't want. And so when I get different journals and workbooks and all of these things, I wanted a goal setting book that is all encompassing, more than just setting the goals, but also because as entrepreneurs, kind of like a SWOT analysis, I tell people, if you're an entrepreneur, you need to do a SWOT analysis on yourself as well, not just your business, because you need to make sure that aligns. So I look at when I'm doing my business, I'm still a person, I still have personal stuff going on. So I want everything in one place. I want to have my personal goals, my professional goals. I want to journal how my gratitude and all of that in one place. So I wasn't finding that. And so that's what I'm creating. And it's going to, right now, it's launching November 1st, and it's going to be complimentary because I really, really, truly want people to be able to kind of get it all out and get, answer the hard questions that they, didn't maybe think about, and kind of help set the stage for them to be able to. That's it. Ultimate Goal Setting Workbook, a fusion of business goal setting and resilience. So, but it's personal and professional will be in there. So there's going to be a lot in there. It's going to be pretty robust, but it's definitely going to make you answer questions that you didn't answer before, for sure.
Got it. Love it. Love it. So we can get your freebie from setsmartgoals.com. And if someone wants to reach you on socials or on email, do we have that as well?
Yes. So my socials are, I live on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yes, I live on LinkedIn, and I believe it's Sharon.Ringier, by the way. Or maybe she probably copied and pasted and I put it in wrong. But it's Sharon. Yeah. So my LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, and yeah.
Okay.
And then my
Awesome.
email, if you want to email me, it's sharon@impossiblewec.com.
Got it. Love it. And we're popping those up in the
I see.
chats in the down below, so people can people who are watching can see your handles there as well and stay in touch, and see your website, get access to your goal setting publication, and stay in touch. So any final words of wisdom for our audience today of, things that they can take with them until they reach out to you personally?
To walk in their greatness and know that don't take it personal because we talked about this. It's like, don't take it personal with the whole limiting belief thing. It's like, know your worth yourself. Because sometimes it's not about, it's not that the person doesn't believe in you. It's just that they don't believe in themselves.
That's right. Oh, I love that. That's so good. Well, Sharon, you were made for something great. So go and be awesome.
Thank you so much.